Live from Studio 46, this is Good Morning Union Canal.
Good Morning Union Canal, a place where we show respect, show responsibility, show safety, and do our job. And now, as a special treat, please rise for the salute to the flag as given by Addie Shea at the board meeting the other night. Today,
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Addie.
and now let's our Union Canal Creed. Today is a new day to reach my potential. You may be seated. And now let's make music.
We're making music with our Falcon friends.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, March the 22nd, 2023. It is day 4 on the special schedule. The announcements this morning are given by Trent Bartlett
And Amaya Riles. Today's lunch is a meatball marinara sub, fresh broccoli, dunkers.
My lady, she went downtown. She bought some broccoli. She brought it home. She's chopping broccoli. Chop a broccoli, chop a broccoli, chop a broccoli, chop a broccoli, chop a broccoli. She chop broccoli. She chop broccoli. She chop broccoli.
Also, a fresh garden salad with or without dressing. Fresh fruit and vegetable bar and milk. On the salad bar is a muffin meal.
We would like to wish a happy birthday to Hannah Baylor.
We would like to welcome all of our guest teachers who are with us today.
Today's top stories are attention all students. Mr. Popper's Penguins might almost be finished, but the fun isn't over just yet because we've got some winners to announce for our stuffed penguin giveaway. And now let's head down to Miss McCracken and Miss Boyer to find out who will be taking home a stuffed penguin, which most likely doesn't have a tracking device in it from the Global Penguin Society.
Good morning, Union Canal. This is Mrs. McCracken with This is Mrs. McCracken with everyone's favorite art teacher, Mrs. Boyer. And we are here today for the day you've all been waiting for. It's Penguin Adoption Day. Today's the day. If you are a student at Union Canal Elementary School, your name is in the bucket to win Captain Cook or Greta or one of their 10 babies. So Mrs. Boyer's here. She's going to draw the first name for Captain Cook. Mrs. Boyer. Captain Cook is going home with Rylan from Mrs. Pedrick's. And the next one, can you hold the bucket, Mrs. Boyer? The next one, this is Captain Cook. We'll remember that, Captain Cook. The next one is for Greta.
Okay.
And Greta is going home with Emma Jenkins from Mrs. Warrenavich's class. Okay, thank you. We're gonna draw 10 more from this bucket for their babies. Here we go. 1, Tobias from Mrs. Durr's class. 2. See if I can keep up the count. Oh boy. Kira from Mrs. Wensky's class in 2nd grade. 3. Jacques Niel from Mrs. Pedrick's class. Dig deep here. This is number 4. Number 4 is Samaj from Mrs. Haig's class. 5. Oh boy. Let's grab another one. 5. This is, do you want to help me with the handwriting here? Sloan? Sloan from Mrs. Pedrick's class. 6. Bailey Brown from Mrs. Pedrick's class. My goodness, Mrs. Pedrick's class is on a roll. 7. Rylan from Mrs. Martinez's class. 8. Who is it gonna be? Leah from Mr. Mentzer's class. 9. We've got 2 more, boys and girls. Emery Myers from Mrs. Maury's class. I got it. And number 10, the last one of the baby chicks, Leanna from Mrs. May's class. Congratulations to all of you who will be adopting penguins today.
Congrats to all of our winners. You can get your stuffed penguins that most likely doesn't have a tracking device in it from the Global Penguin Society down in Miss McCracken's room.
But wait, we're not done yet because we still have to announce our winners of the Mr. Popper's Penguins scavenger hunt. So now let's head over once again to Mrs. McCracken and Mrs. Boyer.
All right, Union Canal, the drawings aren't over for today. If you worked hard to find the penguins throughout the school that Mrs. Boyer hid and you found, we have that drawing here today too. Those children may be taking home one of the penguins from the walls, and I am going to list those names right now. We just drew them from the bucket. Gabriel from Mrs. Pedrick's class. Zoe from Mrs. Haig's class. Willie from Mrs. Durr's class. Evelyn from Mrs. Wensky's class. Leo from Mrs. May's class. Weinzer from Mrs. Pedrick's class. Kiara from Mrs. Campbell's class. Kaylee from Mrs. Martinez's class. Vita from Mrs. Wensky's class. Dylan from Mrs. Warrenavich's class. Brianna from, help me, Mrs. Stam's class. Yep. And Malayla from Mrs. Warrenavich's class. Congratulations to everyone who's taking home one of Mrs. Boyer's penguin posters. All right, and last but not least, the grand prize drawing for the penguin posters that were found throughout the school. We're gonna let's start with this one, this beautiful stationery set. We have Jeffrey Brubaker from Mrs. Schmidt's class taking home the stationery set. Congratulations, Jeffrey. And for the penguin pillow, the last drawing today, boys and girls, Hamza from Mrs. Durr's class. Congratulations, Hamza. And thank you to everyone for participating in Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Congratulations again to all of our winners. You can get your penguin prize that once again most likely doesn't have a tracking device in it from the Global Penguin Society down in Miss McCracken's room.
In other news, Music in Our School Week continues here on Good Morning Union Canal. And today we have two more great performances from you. First up today, we have our own Caitlin who the force is hopefully strong with as she performs the main theme song from Star Wars. Great job, Caitlin.
The force was definitely strong with her. And now here's a performance from somebody who knows their way around a recorder, Kayla Firestone.
Hey, Kayla! Wow, I am so glad to hear that I'm inspiring a new generation of recorder players. I thought maybe we could play a duet.
No!
I guess the stage wasn't big enough for the both of us on at the same time. You know, she's not ready for the big time. That record deal is going to be coming for you, young lady. That record deal, it'll be coming.
Great job, Kayla.
Yes, great job, Kayla, and only Kayla.
And now for a special treat, here's a song from the CCMS Jazz Band under the directions of Mr. Dalbert from their performance here on Monday. jazz band?
Yeah, and listening to jazz music got me thinking, what is jazz? Where is it from? And how much longer can we make this episode if we keep adding segments? Well, here with a history of jazz during the 1950s is our own Professor Bear.
A History of Jazz During the 1950s with Professor Bear. Now please welcome Professor Bear. A History of Jazz During the 1950s with Professor Bear was brought to you in part by a grant from the Bear Foundation, trying to teach bears to be more like humans. The Bear Foundation.
Thanks, Professor Bear.
And PTT fundraising news. Attention all students, our PTT fundraisers is here. All orders are due today. And now here with some final information is Maurice, the Mute News, from the Good Morning Union Canal Puppet Time Players. Thanks, Maurice.
In Cedar Crest Middle School news, attention all students. Tomorrow night is the elementary night for the Cedar Crest Middle School production of Moana Jr. Come on out and see current Indian Canal students like Brindle Charles live on stage for the low introductory price of $5. And now, just in case you didn't know anything about Moana, here's a clip from the movie that's been sped up 16 times than the normal speed, and where an image slowly spins. And now let's head over to the 5th grade chorus with the weather. 5th grade chorus?
Hey guys, 5th grade chorus here, and it's starting to feel a little warm outside, almost like we're in Hawaii. I read that wrong. It's actually supposed to be like 40 degrees. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Thanks to the 5th grade chorus for Trent and all of us here at Good Morning Indian Canal. I'm Amaya Riles, reminding you to stop and think again. Have a great day.